ends the darkness phase, and I want to get this lair taken care of. So I am going to have our soldier play Hustle, which will give her 2 additional movement points. It also raises the darkness meter by 1. She has a base movement of 2, 1 additional with the Mantle of Fate, and 2 additional with Hustle. So that's going to put her at aggressive movement. And do we want to do that? Yes, we'll leave it at aggressive movement. And it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that puts her within range of hitting this lair. And she is going to use Devastate to attack it. Devastate will add 2 more to the darkness meter, bring us up to 3. Let's build the dice pool for this devastating attack. She gets her base 1 and 1. On the Devastate card itself, with the aggressive movement, it's going to give her 2 additional fate dice. This is an attack action, which means the ongoing Hero's Edge that she still has comes into play. It's going to add additional fate die, additional 10-sided. This is a melee attack. She's going to dive into this lair with her Horrifying Spear, giving her an additional 3 10-sided die and 3 additional fate dice. And don't forget that this attack will also affect 1 target adjacent to the initial target, so we can take out one of these ranged Tailless that are right next to us. The Boots of Speed will give us another additional fate die. And I think that is it. Remember that the lairs all have 5 health. This one currently has 2 damage to it. And they have, let me pick all these up. They have a target number of 3 or an armor of 3. And we easily made it with, I think, every one, a 6, 9, 9, 4, and an 8. So we made our attack easily. That massive attack did 3 damage, taking this lair up to 5, and that is enough to destroy it. We won't have to worry about spawns anymore. Taking out a lair allows us to drop another treasure, and we can choose any of the 4 spaces. I'm going to choose to drop it right next to me. The Horrifying Spear also allows us to affect 1 target adjacent to the initial. We'll do that in just a moment. If we make our recipe, which is a Rage and a Guile, we have plenty of Guile here, but we don't have any Rage. The Mantle of Fate, once per roll, you may set 1 fate die to any result. So we'll take one of these, turn it to a Rage, and now we have made our fate dice recipe. With the Horrifying Spear, we can deal 2 damage to 1 target within 4 squares also. And Rath is 1, 2, 3. Only 3 away. So we'll deal 2 damage to Rath. We got a line of sight on him and are able to take care of him. And we can take care of our attack that can affect 1 adjacent target, and we'll take out another one of these ranged Tailless. This is going to cause our threat to go up quite a bit. We did 3 damage on the lair, 1 damage to that Tailless, and 2 to Rath. So we got 3, 4, 5, 6 threat generated. Luckily our soldier's threat was already low at 0, so now she's at 6. I think I'm going to stop right there with this hero phase. Because the darkness is currently at 3, there's 2 active groups out there, so they're going to take it up 2 to 5. I don't have enough action spaces on my Apprentice, which is who I'd want to use, because my plan was to take out all 3 of these grubbers here. That way the darkness would stop going up 2 every time, but I don't have the right cards to be able to do so. I can only take out 2 of them, even with the help of the Acolyte. And their spells would raise the darkness meter up to 6 anyway, probably with 1 grubber left out there. That's not going to help me very much. But if I stop here, and I already have generated AP with all that the soldier has done, so I don't have to worry about a loitering penalty. And that brings me up to another correction. In the first part I said I didn't have to worry about loitering penalties because I wasn't going to be able to grab all of the treasures at that time anyway. The loitering penalty, and what that is if you don't generate any AP during the hero cycle, you have to remove 1 of the treasures from the darkness board, and then you place it by your hero area, and then every tile that you populate for the rest of the act, not just this tile but for the rest of the act, has the treasure reduced by however many loitering penalties you had. So if I had one and then I moved on to another tile and it said put 4 treasure on the darkness board, I would only put 3 on that one. And again, that would last until the end of this act, which is several more tiles. Again, this was something that was pointed out over on Board Game Geek when I posted my first video of this series. Again, thank you very much for keeping me straight. I do a lot of talking and a lot of looking at things when I'm doing these playthroughs that you don't see me doing behind the camera here. So I am going to misspeak and I'm going to make errors and say the wrong thing like that. So please, whenever you hear it or you see something wrong, please point it out. That way I can mention it and keep it correct for everybody that's watching the videos that's trying to learn how to play the game. That'll bring us into the hero deck phase. We get to reduce our threat by 2 down to 4 because of these 2 empty spaces. The Acolyte has nothing, so it can drop it down 4. It was only at 3, so back to 0. And our Apprentice has 1 open spot, dropping her back down to 4. For the Apprentice, I'm going to keep Meditate, because I'm going to clear those cards, all of our ongoings, out of the way. I chose to discard all the cards for the Acolyte, and for our Soldier, I'm keeping the Hidden Blade. Let's draw back up. We need 4 for the Apprentice. She already kept Meditate. She has a Hustle card, Winter's Bite, Blood of Gaia, good. I was hoping I would get that. And Blink, excellent. We'll draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 more for our Acolyte, who has Smite, Guardian Angel, Attend the Weak, Pray, and the Dirge of Twilight. And for our Soldier, we'll need 4, and she has This Yoke is Heavy, Attack, Your Mother is a Crawler, ×2. There are 2 active monster types still out there, raising the darkness to 5. And now we can begin our next hero cycle. The first thing I will do is have our Apprentice move 1 space. That'll put her into cautious movement. And then I'm going to have her cast Blood of Gaia. I'm going to have her target this grubber here, and then Blood of Gaia will also target the 2 behind them. She'll get her base. She doesn't get anything from the Blood of Gaia card because she did move. This is an attack that uses the focus, so she'll get her additional D10 and 4 additional fate dice. The Ring of Neria will give her 1 additional fate die. This time we're only attacking 1 type of monster, the Grubbers, and they have a target number of 5. We still have our research available if we need it. Oh, she got a 6 and a 7, so she made it. The Blood of Gaia Flames will take out all 3 of those Grubbers, causing another treasure to drop. Also, I almost forgot to raise the AP 2 because of Blood of Gaia, which means the darkness will activate. That treasure will drop where the 3rd one was taken out, and because of the 3 damage, her threat is now a 7. The darkness activates, and our event, if there are less than 2 minions, spawn 3 minions. Well, there's definitely a lot more than 2 minions out there, so that's not a concern. No threat penalty, because no one's at 10. And we're going to activate first with the captain, then with the minions, and we don't have to worry about the normal spawn since we took care of the lair. Right at the beginning of the activation here for the darkness, I'm going to have the Soldier play Your Mother is a Crawler. This is a taunt. Each enemy within a number of squares equal to your threat, and currently the Soldier's threat is 4, so within 4 squares means that I am treated as the only priority. For each rage card played, treat your threat as if it were 1 higher. With a threat of 4, that means everyone within 4 squares. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Let's see, this one way over here. 1, 2, 3, within 4. So all of these enemies here and those 2 are within 4 of the Soldier. So they will all treat her as the only priority and attack her. This one soul one way out here, he's going to go off of his normal normal priority sheet. And he's going to go for the least threat first. And the least threat right now is the Acolyte at 0. And they have a range of 3, so it is only going to move 1 to get within range of 3 of the Acolyte. I should have waited to move him because the melee should have moved first, but that's okay because the ones that are over here won't be affected by him being in the way. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the Tailless can move 4. And they're intelligent, so they're going to use up their move to get into position and leave room for the others. And then 4. This one will swing back around. 1, 2, 3. Oops, I did that wrong. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then 1, 2, 3, and 4. So all 4 of them were able to get in there. Oh, I forgot one. There was one right here. So we'll move this one back out because of my error. We'll move him first. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so all 5 of them were able to make it in. All of the ranged ones are going to try to be 3 away. This one is blocked by line of sight, so it's going to move 1, 2, and that'll make room for this one here. 1, 2, 3. And then all of these are already within range. Let me see. So this one is going to move here to back up. And we'll say this one should have moved over to there. It had plenty to make it over to there. That means this one, instead of just moving from here, could have went 1, 2, 3, and 4. And allowing this one to back up 2 spots. Now they're all at least 3 away like they would want to be. Let's get the easy one out of the way first. We have this one that is attacking the Acolyte. This Tailless needs to overcome a courage of 9. Is not successful. I got so busy moving the minions I forgot about Rath over here. He has a range of 5, so he's going to back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. If I move 1, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and back up one more. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And he has line of sight, so that's not a problem. Get as far away as possible and attack his only priority. We'll break the courage tests up in groups. And I forgot again that they have a range of 2. They should have backed off a little bit. I'm going to leave it alone this time. But we'll break the courage tests up into groups. So we'll do 5 for the melee, 7 ranged, and 1 for the Rath. First we'll do the courage check for the 5 melee attackers, and they need a 9 or a 10. Oh, we got 2 of them that are able to make an attack. And I'll go ahead, before we move on to the other ones, we'll go ahead and do that attack. They need a target number of 7 normally, but it goes down 2 because they are attacking a hero with 4 or more of them. Here we go. And that is 2 successes. I could play the Interrupt Guardian Angel from the Acolyte, where each successful attack targeting 1 target within range, that's the tile, must be re-rolled once. I'm going to wait to see what happens with these ranged attackers, since there's 7 of them. The soldier has not been wounded yet, so 2 wounds is not the end of the world. She will take those 2 wounds and be down to 8 health. Now the courage test for the 7 ranged attackers. We have 1, 9, a 0, or a 10, so only 2 successes out of those 7. And then they, again, only need a 5, thanks to how many of them there are. And only 1 success. I guess I should not have waited for the Guardian Angel. I thought I was going to end up taking more hits on this attack here with 7 of them. Take another wound, down to 7. And Rath will attack our captain with a courage of 7. Does not make it. That definitely could have been worse. I really regret not pulling the trigger on that Guardian Angel right away, because then I would only, or may have only taken just the 1 wound instead of 3. But we'll worry about that next time. I have a situation like that. Actually, now I can play the Guardian Angel card. It's each successful attack targeting one target. I had 3 successful attacks. I will go ahead and have the Acolyte play the Guardian Angel interrupt before the darkness cycle is over. And those 3 successful attacks will now need to be re-rolled, and they still need a 5 or better. Well, 2 of them did not succeed the second time, so the soldier only took the 1 wound, placing her health at 9 instead of 7. And because of the Guardian Angel card being played, the Acolyte's threat is raised too. Sorry about the confusion there. I kind of confused myself by breaking those attacks up into groups. I was treating them like completely different attacks than the Guardian Angel just states that each successful attack. So all of them should have been re-rolled, all the successes. I don't think there's a lot more that I want to do now that we're back in the hero cycle. I think what I'll do is I'll have the soldier move, and she can move 3, 2 because of her base and 1 because of the Mantle of Fate. Move in this direction because we're going to go after Rath, and we'll stop there and go into the hero deck phase. She can reduce her threat by 3 down to 1. The Acolyte can now go back down to 0 because of 3 empty spaces. Going to have the Apprentice choose to clear Glacier's Grip. I'll keep Hero's Edge Research and the Sphere of Deflection in place. She had no empty spots, so her threat will stay. For the Apprentice, I chose to keep Meditate. I chose to keep no cards for the Acolyte, and I kept the Hidden Blade for the Soldier. And we have Chaotic Overflow, Attack, the Mountain Crumbles, and Arcane Sigil for the Apprentice. Last Rites, great, I'm glad I got that. Stand Fast, another excellent card. Righteous Fury, Blood of an Overcomer, and Smite. We have the Blade Dance Interrupt, Riding the Edge twice, and the Disengage Interrupt. Now there's only 1 active group on the tile, so the darkness meter is now at 2. First, I will have the Acolyte play Stand Fast, and that's a Faith card. So everybody on the tile will now have an additional D10 for attack actions. And then I will have the Acolyte play Last Rites, so he can attack using his relic that he has. And thanks to his base, the Solace, and the Stand Fast, he'll have 3 Faith for this attack, so he can hit 3 additional targets in the counterclockwise fashion. Last Rites will raise the darkness 2 more. Last Rites has a range of 4. We only need to go to 3. And then starting here with our first Faith, second, and then third, so all 3 will be targeted. First up, we do our base, and because we did not move, and we can't move because we played Stand Fast, we'll get 2 additional D10 according to the Last Rites card. We will get 1 additional D10 because of the Stand Fast card. We're using our Dark Crystal, our relic. That'll give us 2 additional D10 and 1 additional Fate die. We are attacking Tailless, so we need a target number of 4. No problem there. We didn't get a face symbol, so we didn't make our recipe. All 3 Tailless are gone. We managed to take out 3 Tailless in 1 attack, so our last treasure will drop. Now all 6 are on the tile, and we need to start picking them up before we clear this tile. Also, I forgot to pick up the Glacier's Grip token. I did clear that already. And the Acolyte did 3 damage. Now that things are more manageable, I will have the Apprentice play her Meditate card to clear all ongoing cards, which means they're all going to get turned face down for now. And for each one I cleared, I can restore Vitality. She doesn't have any wounds, but I can drop her threat by 1 for each one. We have 1, 2, 3 that are cleared, so she'll drop her threat by 3 back down to 4. And in her remaining action space, I'm going to play the Mountain Crumbles to go after this Tailless right there. It has a range of 3, so I can hit him. There is no additional target to be affected. I did not move, so I'm going to use the stationary movement for the Mountain Crumbles. Before we play the Mountain Crumbles card, on the Meditate card, since I did not move, I can drop my threat by one more additional point down to 3. What I'm hoping to do is roll 2 arcane symbols, and then my Demon's Bane will flip all my ongoings back over for me, and they won't be cleared. So we start off with our base. We didn't move, so we get 3 more fate die from the Mountain Crumbles. We can use our Demon's Bane because of the focus keyword on the Mountain Crumbles. So we'll get 2 d10 and 4 fate die. Another fate die from the Ring of Neria. An additional d10 thanks to the Acolyte's Stand Fast. And I think that is it. We are hoping for a target number of 4 and a couple of arcane symbols on all these fate dice. Oh, wow, we came up blank on the arcane symbols, but we did get enough to take care of the Tailless. The Tailless is taken care of, and the Apprentice's threat goes up again. Now the soldier is going to move into position to try and take out Rath. The soldier will use her Boots of Speed to declare cautious movement, and then move 2 into position and attack using the Hidden Blade. And she will use it as a reaction. The Hidden Blade costs us 1 AP, taking us up to 5. The soldier is attacking with her Hidden Blade, which allows her to do a melee attack, using her Horrifying Spear, giving her 3 more d10 and 3 more fate die. The Boots of Speed throwing in another fate die, another d10 thanks to Stand Fast. And Rath has an armor of 5, so we need at least a 5. Well, we got the 5 just fine. We do have a Guile symbol. We could flip one of those other ones to Rage, thanks to the Mantle of Fate, and then I can deal 2 damage to one target within 4 squares and take somebody else out. And I will do that. We'll keep that Guile, change that one to Rage, and we'll be able to hit somebody else. That 1 damage to Rath is enough to take him out. And then thanks to my Fate Dice recipe, I can do 1 more within 4 squares. Everybody else here is too far away, so this poor Tailless nearby gets taken out too. This 2 damage will cause 2 threat. I don't have anything else that I really can do. I can't move my Apprentice or Acolyte because I've already declared them at stationary and used abilities on several spells. So we should go ahead and go into the hero deck phase. The soldier has 3 open spaces. She'll get her threat back down to nothing. The Acolyte has 2 spaces. Threat is reduced to 1. And our Apprentice has no open spaces, and all of her ongoings are clear. I chose to keep riding the edge for the soldier and no cards for the other players. We'll draw back up. Hopefully I'm getting some movement cards here so we can run around and pick up these treasures. Rift Walk, well, it's an interrupt, so we can get us to some treasures. Breath of Heroes, Fingers of Aya, Arcane Lance, and Illuminate. Feet of the Saints, Blessings of the Dawn, Armor of Faith, Sprint, very good, and Soothe Wounds. I'll take that. Sprint, good. Harvest of Bones, the easy way. We go into the refresh phase, and there's 1 monster type, which means our darkness meter is at 6, and the darkness will activate.